I wish I was as good as doing that in real life as I am on stage, but you got to start somewhere.
I watched some of your stand-up yesterday, and I have to say, I'm so impressed with stand-up comedians because it's the most scary thing I can ever imagine doing.
Yeah.
Where do you kind of get the courage to go up in front of so many people and with the pressure of being funny?
Tonight, we're getting fucked up.
Well, the courage in the beginning is a little different than the courage now. The courage in the beginning is that these are all people that you don't know, and it's hard to have conversations with multiple people at once, and you bring that into it. But at this point in my career, I'm only talking to one person. And so it makes it easier because my fans are represented as one person. This is a relationship that we're really in. And so we've been together long enough that we've discussed the good things, we've discussed the bad things, we discussed current events. This is the opportunity to have the dialogue, and that's what keeps the relationship fresh for me. So I generally feel more comfortable in those moments than I would if I was in a room with 3 people.
Really? So sometimes you must feel like, okay, this is not going as planned. How do you get out of a situation? Or do you ever feel that? Or are you so...
Comedically?
Yeah.
Well, it's a very responsive sport. So if you don't make an adjustment to whatever it was that you're feeling or whatever is happening, then it's still going to continue. And so it requires you to try to read how things are going and make an adjustment before it gets to critical points. I wish I was as good as doing that in real life as I am on stage, but you got to start somewhere. But yeah, that's how it works on stage.
Serial killer. Are you a serial killer?
I am not a serial killer.
You just emphasize.
So what is that compared to being in a movie like this one? Is it much easier to like act in a movie than being on stage in front of people, or how is that dynamic different?
Well, it's only different because on stage, this is me. And so I'm being as close to myself as possible. And in the movie situation, I become whoever that guy is before we start the process. So I'm never adding Katt Williams things into it. It's just this character, and this is what his life revolves around. So I eat what he would eat. That's what I do. So when you're in a great project, it pays off because everybody in this movie is already so good at comedy and acting that I can either do a great job and we have a movie, or I can stink up the place. And
You did a good job.
Thank you.
So I've been
Those were my only options, though.
I've been asking a lot of comedians this, if they, if you remember the time that you realized, like, okay, I'm funny and I can make a living out of this. Do you remember that time or in your life where you realized that, hey, I get good response from people?
Right. Yeah, it's a critical point for every comedian because when you write these things and think these thoughts, you're alone. And it may be funny there. That doesn't qualify you to be a comedian. To be a comedian, you have to always be able to get the audience to buy into your story. And when you get to a point as a comedian where you go, oh, it's not those funny things I said, I'm funny, that's when the pressure comes off of you a bit, and then you're able to see where your trajectory takes you. Until that point as a comedian, you think it's the material. You think, oh, I worded that right, or that's a funny topic. It takes about 7 years for you really say, oh, it's me. Because we're in a society where anytime your point of view is different than most people's, you're put in a wrong category. And as a comedian, your point of view has to be different from other people for you to even be in an employable situation.
So do you think comedy, or is it comedy kind of a defense mechanism for you or for people in general, you think?
I think that chemically that's how it's set up in our body. I think that every time we laugh, chemically it does something great inside of us. And so when things are bad, we'd love to be able to flip that switch. And when things are good, it's because that switch is being flipped. And so that's why there's not a bigger genre in film than comedy, because comedy is the only thing that really doesn't care where you come from or what your backstory is. A laugh is universal. We all recognize it. The little girl laughing in North Korea has just a genuine laugh as the girl in Harlem. We're set up like that as humans, and so it's a wonderful thing to be in a business that's that critical to what we all need.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank
Very
you.
interesting. Hi there, thanks for watching my interview. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please share, like, subscribe, comment below if you have anything you want to share with me or with other people here on YouTube. And I hope I see you again soon. Bye, take care.